Hey, it's me, Kim, and today I have a pick a card reading for you guys. This is going to be a pick a card reading for your twin flame union update, energy update along those lines. So, depending on the cards, it'll give you messages as to what your twin is feeling. Or if you don't like the term twin flame, I like to just call it divine counterpart. So, what's going on with your union, the energy between you, any blockages, things like that. Obviously, the messages will vary depending on the cards that come up. But yeah, I'm basically going to be having 3 stacks that you can choose from, and I might just show that to you later on, or you can just pick a number between 1 to 3 right now. So obviously the layout is a little different because the camera is on me and not on the cards. But there's a purpose for that because as I shuffle, I kind of want to talk a little bit about a topic, which is, surviving the twin flame connection, dealing with the challenges, learning how to forgive, and kind of get through those moments of insecurity, fear, doubt, and things like that. Because I feel like I'm so much more seasoned to it now. It's been a while since I kind of figured out that I was a twin flame, and I was always thinking of ways of like how to heal. I don't like this feeling. I want to feel better, and I feel like I have a good understanding of it now because of something that I read. It's called New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, I believe. You guys probably have heard of it. Also, as you can see, there is this painting in the back. This is a painting that I'm working on. I'm not finished, so don't mind this part because it's messed up. But it's twin flame art, so I thought it would be perfect to have it in the background for this reading to hopefully help the energies as well. So yeah, in your mind, maybe you can pick between a number between 1 and 3, or you can just wait until I show you the actual cards. So as I shuffle, I'm going to be talking about this topic. So forgiveness. It's kind of hard to forgive your twin or to kind of deal with the pain depending on your type of connection, right? Sometimes you're like, what are they doing? Are they with somebody else? Has they moved on? Do I still matter to them? And that's why I think a lot of people watch these twin flame videos or these kind of soulmate videos. And because they're wondering, like, they're trying to heal and they're trying to have understanding because a lot of the times twins aren't in communication. Sometimes one twin has blocked the other, which that twin would then be the runner, right? So it's hard. Because then you have doubts like, is this worth it? Is this connection real? Am I crazy? Am I making it up? Should I let go? Things like that. And I was reading New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And, these are ideas that I already knew before. Like, things about ego, which, like, leads to attachment and feeling wronged somehow. So, like, when your twin ignores you, you're kind of like, you get kind of mad, like, why are they acting like this? Why is this behavior necessary? And so the book just helped me realize, like, that's ego. I can look at this situation in an understanding manner, and that really was the shift for me. Because I'm looking at the situation in an understanding manner, I'm like, it's easier for me to forgive. And it's easier for me to understand them, regardless if they are with another person or regardless if in the physical we don't have any contact, or, if they're not acting in a way that I would want them to act. Things like that, just basically disappointed with the other and expecting them to act in a certain way, a way that is more favorable to us. And so if that's basically my ego saying this person, the book was basically saying this person should be acting like this, they wronged me, this is unfair, things like that. But if you are looking at the situation from your higher self, then you understand that everything is perfect in the moment. So I made a few twin flame videos already, and I always, like, I made the videos about, about the connection and my personal journey and where I was at and my thoughts on it. These are just videos of ranting, not ranting, but talking about the ideas. They're not pick a card readings or tarot readings. They're just me talking about the connection and hopefully helping people understand it better. But yeah, I always say that the journey is about aligning with your higher self. So, it's important that we always act as twins in our higher self. I mean, it's impossible sometimes, especially if, we're just new to spirituality, or, we don't really know certain things yet. We haven't learned them. We're just learning. We're imperfect. And that's okay, but it's important to always, heal and move forward and take the next step in order to grow. And so, in aligning with the higher self, according to the book, it's basically understanding that person and seeing them as not putting negative labels on their actions, but rather seeing them in an understanding and compassionate light. So say that they're ignoring you or they're being mean or whatever. You would see that as, an expression of what is going on inside of them. You would see that behavior as unconscious behavior. So it's not to say like, oh, they're being an asshole. I mean, it could be true that they really are being an asshole, but instead of saying that, you look underneath it at the cause of that type of behavior, which is likely that they have blockages, they have issues that need to be healed, and those issues then are resulting in that type of behavior towards you or towards anybody, or just general behavior, right? So, I always found it kind of difficult to hold my twin in a compassionate light, especially because I always felt like, this is my assumed twin we're talking about, by the way. Anyways, I always felt like he could act better. He could communicate better. He didn't have to do the things that I felt he did that I didn't like, or I didn't feel was indicative of his higher self. So I felt like he could do better in terms of his behavior towards me during our relationship and even afterwards. Like things that he would say, the way he would say them, just drama. I felt that was so unnecessary, and I saw it as ego. And I almost kind of made an enemy out of him in that way, because I just saw him as like this huge disappointment. Well, that's kind of mean to say, but I meant like his actions were a huge disappointment, because he kind of made himself to be this spiritual, mature person in the beginning, and his actions during our relationship and towards the end, I just felt wasn't indicative of that. But the book, The New Earth, kind of helped me realize that could just be my ego. My ego is the one that's hurt, right? My ego is the one that's finding offense in that. But if I were reacting from my higher self, then I wouldn't let it bother me too much. I probably wouldn't even be talking about it right now. But I think it's because of who I am. Who I am is, I like to delve into ideas. I like to delve into my thoughts and see the origin of it and things like that. So I have no problem expressing my grievances towards a certain situation or a person, because I know that I'm just expressing them for the sake of working through them and coming to an understanding, if that makes sense. It's not like I'm complaining because I just want to complain, or I'm a negative person. I want to express what I feel, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Some kind of rule on Instagram or a meme that you see, some kind of spiritual quote will tell you that silence is a real way to communicate. It's better not to talk about the negative. Like, I understand all of that, but sometimes it's good to express feelings and not deny them just to be more positive or to be more spiritual or something. At least that's how I look at it. So anyways, in tying all of that up together about forgiveness and about dealing with the challenges, I obviously don't know your situation, but assuming from like people's comments and other pick a card readings from other readers, sometimes the twins are challenged in the way that I just spoke about, like obviously the runner will want to block you out, and things like that. So, as you know, I mentioned my assumed twin flame, but I already kind of moved on from my twin flame. I mean, I still feel him, like I think about him all the time, or he's still in my energy, I feel. Sometimes I'll wake up really worried or feeling like there's somebody else or something, but then, in trying to deal with that challenge and feeling like that during separation especially, and not wanting to feel like that, I kind of came upon this epiphany that the best thing you can do, and I know this is probably going to sound so simple, and it's going to be an idea that has probably been out there for a long time, but it's just like it helps to realize it again and to remember. So the epiphany is basically to just sit with it. Sit with that emotion. Breathe. I like to use logic in dealing with something like that. So I'll get to the pick a card reading in a second. And I'll put the time stamp below if you don't want to listen to this. But I realized that, or you know what? No, you can just fast forward to that period. I realized that you can deal with it with logic. So if you're ever feeling a negative emotion and some kind of fear or insecurity in regards to your twin or doubt, just sit with it and don't even write, because usually I like to write, or I'll grab my tarot cards and see what's going on, but you can just sit with it in silence and think of all the outcomes of that situation. Think of the things that you are grateful for. Think of the things that you have and are able to enjoy in your life. Think of the other opportunities, like if this union doesn't work, and think of the possibilities and the miracles that could happen and that can kind of bring about the union, if that's what you really want. You know what I mean? There's different possibilities of how it could play out. Sometimes it's just truly a matter of time, or sometimes it's a matter of aligning with a certain type of energy, or aligning with your twin, right? So if you're feeling insecure and you're fearful, like I woke up and I was like, I don't know, something feels weird. Like, why am I thinking about this person right now? I thought I was healed. Why am I feeling like this heaviness towards them? And then I started to think that maybe there's somebody else. And the go-to thing I usually would do is to find somebody who follows my twin, which I have a friend who follows my twin on Instagram, and I would ask them to check if they're with somebody just so I can validate my feelings. It's not, I don't ever see it as me stalking this person. It's just because they blocked me out and they're not telling me anything or communicating with me. I would like to know if my feelings are real or if I'm paranoid. I don't know. That to me just makes complete sense, and I don't see that as crazy at all. You want to find truth. in a certain aspect, or any aspect for that matter. And in finding that truth, sometimes you have to investigate. And so that's my go-to thing. But now I'm seeing it as like, you know what, I do wish my twin is happy. And I came to this realization that, you know, he's a human being. He's going to be attracted to other people. And maybe he'll be in a relationship. Maybe he is in another relationship. And that's fine, because that's where he needs to be at that moment. And I just started to think that, you know what, I can have that too. That'll come in time if that's what's right for my journey. And, you know, I don't need to compete who's moving on first or anything like that. I started to look at things from my higher self, and I understood and felt compassion and empathy towards my twin in the situations that I would fear, if that makes sense. So I sat with the feeling, and I thought of what would happen or what it could mean if he did in fact move on and there was somebody else and he didn't care about me. And, you know, union is obviously not in the question right now, and I don't really mind. But I started to think of the different perspectives and the different outcomes if that were the case. And I came up with things like, you know, whatever is meant to be will be. And that's so simple. I mean, like I said, these are ideas that have been around for a long time. But it's like to realize that again after having forgotten it, it's really a breath of fresh air. And it like gives you a sense of peace. Because even if that person has moved on, it doesn't matter, because we're separated. We have been separated for a while, and I was doing just fine. And any negative emotions that I felt were because I was putting energy into them. Does that make sense? Like, it would be my responsibility then to feel better and to accept any situation. And to accept that maybe my fears are just my fears. Or maybe they're real this time. But it's okay, because it's not going to kill me or anything. I might meet somebody that I'm so attracted to, meet somebody that I will learn a lot from, and that who is not my twin, you know? So it was just like this understanding coming into my consciousness as I sat with it. And then I remembered to breathe. So then I was breathing, and it just made me realize, like, whoa, we worry about things and drag it out for no reason. And even if I still feel connected to my twin, and it still hurts to think that, you know, I'm gonna be separated and feeling this connection with my twin, and they would be moving on and not feeling it, if that makes sense. It's just my responsibility to deal with it. I can always just say, like, oh, I hate this connection. I can just whine about it. Or I can deal with it. And that's what anybody should do. You just silently, you don't have to silently deal with it. You can write or express yourself about it. But just always know that the power is in you to feel a certain way, to feel good about yourself, and to feel good about your experience, and to accept your situation completely with courage, and surrender into the challenges, into the union, into the separation. Because you will be fine, like where you are at right now, in comparison with your twin, is where you should be. And, you know, I just thought, you know what? Who cares if he's with somebody else? Like, what's that gonna do? Nothing. I mean, I'm here and he's there, and I have every opportunity to enjoy myself as well. But, you know, I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do what I want to do, what makes me happy. what my soul feels called towards, and if union is right, then we will come together. So I just kind of like was just sitting with that, and it helped me re-establish my desire to move on and from this person and from this connection. And I know I'm doing a twin flame reading right now because my journey is obviously different from somebody else. I still really obviously believe in this yin and yang kind of energy and this divine counterpart, this type of bond. I really believe in this. That's why I paint it. That's why I write about it. That's why I'm doing pick a card readings. But just because I choose to move on doesn't mean that somebody else should. Sometimes the best answer is to have faith because, like I said, our journeys are not the same. So I don't know. That's up to you to decide for yourself. But for me, and the way that my situation is, and the way that my twin has acted towards me, and the way that we have communicated and had not communicated, and the drama that kind of happened between us, I forgive him. I wish him the best. I hope he's happy. And yeah, I really do. But I also want to move on, and I want to feel happy. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy my life, and if that means enjoying it with a soulmate, I'm okay with that. Like, completely fine with that. And so that's also one of the things that helped me move on from this fear of, like, my twin being with somebody else and him falling for somebody else completely, or that there was always somebody else there. Like, yeah. I learned to accept that the situations that were occurring in my life and the people that were being brought into my life were there, or were brought into my life for a good reason. And I'm just learning to look at those situations, especially the negative ones, as learning lessons. Or as having lessons to be learned in order to become the person that I really want to be, that I know I am. It's just that it's a matter of, like, getting to that next level. And the lessons will help me get to that next level. So hopefully that you got something out of that little rant. Anyways, let's go ahead and do the pick a card reading. So hopefully you chose by now between 1, 2, or 3. But if you haven't, let me put this camera down. Oh, you can see my laptop. Yeah, I'm using my laptop. So this one is 1, 2, 3. You can pause it if you need more time. You can also put your hands above each stack from the screen, of course, to see which one you feel calls out to you more. But yeah, go ahead and choose 1, 2, and 3, and we can get started. Alright, for those who pick stack 1, I'm not going to be reading reversals. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Should I read reversals? Let me see. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to read reversals. Sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes you just want to move on. Or, like, you want to, like, change what you initially said because you see something that tells you, like, no, read reversals. So from the Morgan Greer Tarot, you have the Queen of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords reversed. You also have the Moon reversed and 8 of Wands, which is one of my favorite cards. And then you have Share the Love, 3 of Cups, and 9 of Pentacles, well-deserved reward. Okay, so give me a moment. For those who pick stack 1. So yeah, interesting. I was just talking about forgiveness. So what I'm getting with this, especially with these 2 Pentacles here, Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles in the Power of the Heart Tarot by John Holland. So you're coming into this sort of stability. I think this is more for the women also. But if you're a man, you're coming more into this humble, mature stability with these two cards here. You know, the Queen of Pentacles is very grounded. She's successful. She's powerful. She's nurturing. And the Nine of Pentacles, the well-deserved reward, in the traditional tarot, it's when the woman is in her garden and she has these pentacles around her, and she's obviously very independent and strong on her own. And so that's the energy coming through with you, especially because you have the Five of Swords reversed. So the Five of Swords reversed for me is about kind of defeat. Somebody is not happy, or somebody is not experiencing basically a good and happy time, and somebody here is happy about it, and somebody is finding like happiness that somebody is not feeling well. Like, as you can see, these people are defeated, right? They drop their swords and they're kind of very sad about it. This one has his face in his hand, so he's disappointed and sad somehow. And this guy, he kind of has like a smirk on his face, like he's happy, and he's taking these swords that are on the ground. He's happy and like just looking at the sadness and not particularly feeling compassionate about it. But that's reversed. So what that tells me, especially with the moon reversed as well, is that this feeling is going away. So it could be that your twin was feeling this way towards you, or you were feeling this way towards your twin. Kind of like wanting them to be unhappy because you're unhappy, or wanting them to not be moved on because you're single. And I can relate to that, obviously, as I was just talking about. But that's changing, because you have share the love here. So the Three of Cups in the traditional tarot is when the three people have cups in their hands, or they're kind of enjoying themselves and socializing, and with the cups in the air. So there's a celebration, but here it says share the love. And so that's how I'm getting that you've come far, and you've come to this feeling and this understanding of compassion for them, of not wanting to resonate with this energy anymore. The moon is about the intuition, secrets, and things like that. So this is reversed. And with the Eight of Wands here, I'm thinking that the secrets will come to light, maybe in the form of communication with your twin flame. So that could be something. Or this could be just a message of, you communicating finally what you really actually feel for this person or this situation. I'm also getting express yourself. You don't even have to send it. You could just write a letter and not send it, or write in your journal or whatever. But if you feel like that's the message for you, like you should communicate, or this person will communicate with you very soon, then that could be the case. But definitely, if you don't feel that right now is the time to communicate, don't do it, because this could mean this could mean various things, right? So with these three cards together, I'm getting that maybe now is the time to kind of communicate with them, in terms of like communicate in a very loving way with this Five of Swords reversed, in an understanding way, in a compassionate, empathetic way. But that's up to you to decide. Maybe this means that they're going to be reaching out to you first. Like I said, this is a general reading. Thousands of people watch these videos, so it depends really what resonates with you, and only you can know that. So for those who picked stack 1, you are coming into yourself, you're becoming grounded, you're seeing things in a more positive light, you're coming into your own power, you're becoming grounded, and you're accepting the situation. Maybe your twin is with somebody else. Now you're coming into understanding that, you know what, that's completely fine. Here. That's completely fine that they're with somebody else because I'm good. You know, I'm stable, I'm grounded in myself. Right? But in the same way, share the love with the Eight of Wands, I think means that also it's reinforcing this feeling of reversing the Five of Wands energy, which is like this sort of selfish, nasty energy. I really don't like this card. I'm trying to really come up with ways to describe the feeling that I get from this card, but I just have not found that perfect way to explain it yet. So hopefully that makes sense when I talk about this. But as you can see, this is reversed, and then you have share the love with the Eight of Wands. So what that tells me is this energy is something that you don't need anymore, and you can move forward from this energy, and now you're moving into this type of energy, which is Eight of Wands is about communication, and with the share the love and the Five of Swords reversed, that just tells me that maybe now is the time to communicate in a loving way if you haven't already. So for those who picked stack 1, this could be a message to reach out and apologize, or maybe your twin, if they did you wrong, is going to apologize to you, and that's kind of culminating in their consciousness right now, and that's what they're thinking about doing, or this is where their energy is going. So this is a very good bunch of cards for those who picked stack 1. This is great. It tells me that you're healing and that you're becoming wiser and understanding things in a more mature way, and kind of letting go also. But you know, not letting go is not to say that you don't have faith in the connection, but you're kind of like detaching a little bit, and detaching is really key in finding peace in ourselves, especially in the twin flame connection, because it is very difficult sometimes. My hair is all over the place, so I'm sorry if I keep fixing it. Okay, for those who picked stack 2, you have, oh, interesting, the Fool and the Moon reversed. Then you have Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. But then you have the Six of Swords, Healing Begins. And Seven of Swords, Seek the Truth. This is kind of different from the original tarot, I think. The Seven of Swords is when the man is like, hey, look, he appears to be stealing some swords. But here the woman is seeking the truth. Interesting. Alright, give me one moment. I'm just going to tune into the energies. Okay. So it's very similar to the first stack. With the Moon and the Fool reversed, this tells me that your energy between you two and the twin union is not one of the Fools. So what that means is you're not really excited about it anymore. You're more seasoned. So you've probably been looking into this twin flame union thing for quite a while, and now you're starting to understand it a little bit more. The moon reversed. We just got that in the last one. That's what I'm saying. It's very similar. What I'm getting with this is that because you're so seasoned and you don't have this full energy anymore, you know, you feel like you don't have to listen to your intuition. You're kind of like blocking this connection or the feeling out. In other words, you're not letting it affect you as much as it used to. I mean, I think when you first stumbled upon the twin flame connection, you were very excited about it and you were trying to really research about it. And you know, watching tarot readings, watching pick a card readings. But now you're like, you know what? I've healed significantly from whatever my situation is. And now I can just let it run in the background. I don't have to focus so much of my energy onto it. I don't have to focus so much of my conscious energy because I already know that it's always going to be underneath it all with a twin flame connection. So you have also the Knight of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. So this could be an earth sign that hurt you. Or this could be an earth sign that brought you pain. This could also mean that an earth sign might come into your life. It doesn't have to be your twin flame, but an earth sign could come into your life and heal that pain that perhaps your twin flame had caused you and kind of be the band-aid, even if temporary. And that's okay if it's temporary. Sometimes soulmates come into our lives to teach us things, and soulmates come into our lives when we need them to. They teach us things that maybe our twin can't teach us. So, you know, this could be somebody who will help you deal with this heartache or this betrayal or this dissatisfaction going on here with the Three of Wands. It doesn't have to be necessarily a romantic interest. It could be a friend, a mentor, some kind of guidance that will help you deal with this pain. Because I'm sensing that because you detached, you kind of detached in an unhealthy fashion. Like you did it because you're just tired of the situation and you don't want to deal with it anymore. You don't want to think about it anymore. You don't want to think about this person. You don't want to feel for them anymore. You're kind of just like, leave me alone. I don't want to feel like this. So I'm not getting a sense of like real forgiveness. But then you also have healing begins and seeking the truth. So while that was your energy in the beginning about this situation, like maybe you felt resentment towards your twin, and perhaps they were an earth sign and they hurt you somehow, whatever they did to you, now you're also beginning to heal. So this is beautiful because the other person for the stack one, they're already, I think they're further down from their healing. They're further, progressed in their healing as opposed to you. But for those who pick stack 2, you're beginning to heal because now you're really looking for the answers to things in the way that you're feeling. So it's starting for you. That's why you have the Fool and the Moon reversed. You kind of like put this connection to the side, and you understand that you kind of need to let go a little bit because you perhaps had been holding on too strongly to it, perhaps letting it affect you too much, take too much of your energy and time, but now you're looking to look at things in a different perspective. I'm kind of sensing like a Hanged Man energy for those who picked stack 2. But yeah, the healing begins because you're trying to seek the truth, and I'm getting this image of the regular tarot, 7 of Wands, which is, like I said, when the man is like looking like he's stealing things or stealing the swords from somebody. You're healing, in your healing and how it's beginning, the way that you're healing is you're kind of rejoicing in the negative experiences of your twin. You're rejoicing in the facts or in the places where your twin is not very happy in, if that makes sense. Like say that your twin is single, or they just broke up with somebody, or anything like that. Anything that kind of makes your twin feel down, you're kind of using that to heal. Almost like, you know what, he's not doing as good either, or he's not, or she's not doing as good, so that means I'm okay, like, if that makes sense. You kind of like, in your mind, it's sort of like a competition almost. But this is, again, also just a reminder that you're eventually going to move out of that. And I think you may also get a good message out of this first stack as well. For those who pick stack 2, you may also learn how to fully heal. It's interesting because the message that I just talked about in the beginning about forgiveness and things like that, it's almost like the people who picked these stacks of cards like needed to hear that. Let's see what else. I kind of want to clarify as well with the Power of the Heart Psychic Tarot for those who picked stack 2. So, dedicated effort and open up. These are the Pentacles. So 4 Pentacles and 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, with the 4 of Pentacles, you were kind of closed up and holding to some kind of resentment here, right? Whatever this represents, perhaps which was caused by an earth sign, or somebody with the characteristics of an earth sign, or they have an earth sign in their chart or whatever. And then I get this, seek the truth, and I keep thinking of the original tarot and what this means in the original tarot, 7 of Swords. So I'm kind of like sensing that these 3 belong together. You're holding on to some kind of resentment in the 4, and in this resentment, you are sort of rejoicing, or you're kind of taking power from somebody's misfortune, even if you're not conscious of it. And it's not really to say that that's a bad thing, because everybody does that. From time to time, we're not perfect, but that's why your healing is beginning. You're learning how to deal with a situation in a better fashion, in a way that it's more aligned with your higher self. And you also have dedicated effort, because you're going to have to take those necessary steps in order to heal yourself. And I think maybe you can get a message or an idea as to how in the beginning of this video, where I talk about forgiveness and dealing with the challenges of the twin flame connection. So I think that that's interesting that I was talking about that, and now these cards are coming up and it's like starting to make sense. This is your energy between your twin flames. So with the people who picked stack 2, I'm sensing that there is still some kind of pain, lingering pain there that has not been forgiven fully, not been understood fully. And there's almost like a stubborn energy of not wanting to listen to the intuition, not wanting to see the hidden things. But in the same way, because it's reversed, maybe the hidden things will also come into light with this card here. Especially because you have seek the truth. So maybe, you need to do your own research. Maybe this means that you really have to look in yourself and understand why you feel a certain way. Like, for instance, if you feel angry that your twin did something to you, you have to figure out why that is. Why is it that I am angry when, in fact, I am living when I have a house over my head, I have the means to watch YouTube videos, I have jackets, I have coats, things like that. So you have to kind of seek the truth within yourself and find out what it is that you have been ignoring. So with the full reverse, it's almost like you've lost. You're disenchanted with the whole thing. You're disenchanted with your twin. You're disenchanted with this connection. You're doubting if it's for you. But that's because it's natural. It's a natural part of healing for those who pick stock too. And I think that that's really what you have to understand. But good news is because you are coming into this period where you are now healing. You're beginning to heal. Perhaps you may not be as advanced in your healing as those who pick stack 1. But, this discomfort that you're feeling, or like this restrictive energy, is necessary for you right now. And that's really the only message that I can give to you. Like, you have to understand that where you are right now is where you need to be. And with dedicated effort, you can hopefully eventually be fully healed. With dedicated effort, you will come to an understanding and you will come to this beautiful energy. And perhaps, maybe your healing will begin with some kind of opportunity or some kind of message in the form of this Nine of Pentacles. It could be, some money that you get that will help you do whatever it is that you love to do. This could be read in various ways, but this could mean that somebody, an earth sign, or somebody with the characteristics of the Nine of Pentacles. I forget, the Knights are actually another type of sign as well. I think it may be Pisces, but I don't know. I'm not that seasoned with the zodiac signs that the specific tarot cards have, but some of the zodiac signs I am familiar with, just not the Knight of Pentacles. I like to read tarot cards more of as like an energy thing, just because some people, they don't particularly resonate with their star, moon, rising signs or anything. Some people just don't believe in it, but I feel like the tarot still resonates energetically to everybody, or most people at least. Those who are receptive to it rather. So with the Knight of Pentacles, I know that the Pentacles is an earth sign, but I know that the Knights have their own sign as well. So it could be the earth sign or whatever the sign associated with the Knights are. And I should probably look that up. Do I have my phone right now? Hold on. Let's actually see what sign it is. Let's see, what signs are the Knight of? What signs are the Knight? What sign is the Knight in tarot? It's not coming through as easily as I hoped it would. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, Knight of Pentacles is Virgo. Interesting. So maybe this person also, for those who pick stack 2, like if it's a Virgo or any earth sign for that matter, maybe this person, this is their energy towards you. This is what they need. This is how they're feeling towards you. So they're feeling closed off, but this is telling them to open up. They're feeling pain in regards to you and your connection, whatever. It depends on the dynamic of your relationship. So I hope that you can adjust to that. But yeah, for the people who pick stack 2, I'm definitely sensing that you are beginning to heal, and you're like starting to really come to an understanding of, you know, true forgiveness and whatever this situation represents. Yeah, I'm really getting that this person that caused this pain was this person here. It doesn't have to be exactly a Virgo or an earth sign, but this person, this knight represents somebody that hurt you, or perhaps this is them and this is them and they feel hurt by you, if that makes sense. But like as a union energy, both of you are definitely healing. But there's a disenchantment there to begin with. But like I said, it's where you need to be at this point. So I hope that that resonated with you, or that made sense, or you got something that, you know, you could use in that reading. For those who pick stack 3, your cards are the High Priestess, 5 of Wands reversed, and another 7 of Swords. Interesting. 7 of Swords reversed. I guess the people who watched this video are going through similar things. You also have the Lovers. I always love to see this card. Look how cute this card is. The Lovers and then the Page of Wands. So with these two right here, I'm sensing like a reigniting of the fire. Reignition. That could be a thing. Reignition of the fire. Reigniting the fire. Yeah, because you have Receive. Receive, which is 16. I think this might be the tarot card. The Tower card. I cannot talk right now. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, it is the Tower. So there's like a feeling of, like I said, reigniting that fire, that passion. So we'll see what that means. Interesting. You have giving and receiving. 6 of Pentacles. And in the traditional tarot, that's when the man is handing out coins and he's holding some kind of scale. He's handing out coins to the homeless people. And then we have coming together 2 of Cups reversed. Right off the bat, I can say that right now is a time of separation for you, but you're now coming into a new passion for the other person. But there's almost like a delay in this coming together, because you still have to embody this energy with your twin, which is basically compassion, forgiveness, and, you know, sort of like treating them in a good way, giving them love, and now it's also their turn to give you love, if that makes sense. This could also mean that in order to receive love, you must give love. So it depends. Maybe now you're ready to start communicating with your twin, especially because you have these 2 cards reversed. The 5 of Wands reversed here is obviously an end to the struggle, an end to the fighting, an end to the battle between this person and you. The Morgan Greer Tarot for the 7 of Swords is a different energy, I feel, in comparison to the original Rider-Waite Tarot. I believe in this deck it means getting away from authority or something like that, but let's see. Let's just double check in the book. The book says Seven of Swords, partial success in coping with authority. So it's different. You know, he doesn't really look to be stealing. He doesn't look to be sneaky. It almost looks like the Ten of Wands. Like it's almost like a burden to him. But I'm also getting picking and choosing thoughts, picking and choosing ideas, picking and choosing perspectives, because he's left these two swords here. So with that reverse, maybe that picking and choosing is kind of going out the door. That's coming to an end, especially with the Five of Wands and the giving and receiving card. With the High Priestess, there's a feeling of intuition, of groundedness, of wisdom, and inner knowing. So I think for those who pick stack 3, like you kind of have a feeling that you knew that this was bound to happen all along. Like this was how the journey was supposed to be for you. And this is the way that things are culminating for you and happening is exactly how they should be. But the good news is you have Lovers, and Lovers is basically for me a twin flame card. It's about the divine counterpart. I see this as Adam and Eve. And this is like a blessed union here, but this is also a card about choice. So maybe now you're choosing that, yes, in fact, especially with the High Priestess card, yes, in fact, this person is my twin flame. So you're coming into this like new belief with them. It's very different from the people who pick stack 2, which is nice. But yeah, you're now, you know, accepting that, you know what, this person does matter to you. You care about this person a lot, and they really are significant to you as much as you had fought it before in the past. So you're at the point of rebuilding this connection, and you're rebuilding almost your feelings towards this person. You're seeing them in a compassionate light, because I'm also sensing that this is going to come very soon for you. There's just some sort of delay happening because this rebuilding needs to happen. But ultimately, this coming together will happen, especially because in relation to the other cards, with Rebuild and then Lovers, you know, it's just that I'm sensing that the delay is just where you are and where you need to be or where you're supposed to be. Because that's just the energy. Like I said, this is a general energy update. These set of cards can also be read as how they're feeling towards you. So if that's not how you're feeling towards them and you're like, no, I'm not, that's not what I'm feeling, well, then this is what your twin is feeling. They're seeing this connection in a new light, and they're starting to rebuild their idea and conceptions of you in a more positive light. Especially with the High Priestess, this card is also about your dream woman or dream man. So this person, I feel like this Page of Wands is looking at his wand and like very intrigued and curious about it now. And then with the Rebuild card, we know that that's somebody from the past. He's looking at things in a new perspective and seeing them in a more positive light. And so he's seeing, or she is seeing you in, he or she is seeing you as somebody that they really want in their lives. But in that separation or in that blockage, that's why you have this coming together reversed. But that's because that's the process. That's what needs to happen. And wow, we're at an hour, so I'm just going to stop now. And I hope that helped you and resonated with you. Thank you for watching, and I hope that helped you.